BMW is having a massive refresh lately. It calls it the Neue Klasse, or New Class, and it means that all of its models are getting a raft of new technology and styling. And amongst that circus of new, there is this, the iX5. Now, the iX5 replaces the iX, which ends production in 2028. So you have one car that handles all of the different drivetrains, including hydrogen. Now, this fifth generation of iX5 will handle petrol, diesel, plug-in hybrid, hydrogen, and of course, electric. Now, I remember when this car was actually launched back in 1999. God, I'm old. So this is the latest version of BMW's big SUV. We don't know all the details yet, but we thought we'd have a little poke around. So yes, the X5 will have all of those drivetrains, but the first fully electric X5 in the UK will be officially called the BMW iX5 60 xDrive. Yay. So what do we know? Well, in the launch model, it's going to have an absolutely massive battery of 140 kilowatt hours and a range of around 500 miles. It'll charge at up to 450 kilowatts, future-proofing it against better charging infrastructure and meaning it will put serious range in no matter how short the time you plug it in. It'll have two electric motors with a combined output of 570 brake horsepower, which it'll need because a 140 kilowatt hour battery is not light. And it will look like that. So I just want you to drink that in for a moment. It's actually got the same roof height as the old model, but the bonnet is actually the highest of any X5 model ever, making it look more blocky and dense and kind of macho. BMW calls it monolithic styling, but it just gives you a bigger blind spot in which to lose things. And then as you come round the front, you've got this illuminated slim kidney grille, which looks very special. It's notable that on the cars with engines, there's a big grille here which lets air into the motor. But on the electric version like this, you've got shut grills down here for efficiency, some fake vents here, and then air curtains to push air around the front wheels. Oh, and there's these double XX headlights, which are always arranged. So even on dip beams, you can always see this pattern. And yes, they have welcome animations. And then, as you go around the side of the car, you can have between 20 and 23-inch wheels. This is the electric version, so they've got an aero element. And then when you look at the side of the car, it is quite thick. Now, that's because there's actually more door and less glass area. So this car looks really kind of blocky. And part of that is the fact that there is no feature line or indeed door handle, because BMW has an aerospace-inspired thing called a winglet. So now when you pull this, it has that. And if I step away, it's got sensors for the automatic doors. If you want to close it, by the way, you just push it. You just push it. The thing is, this car has these strange, like, flat wheel arches, but they're on both ends of the car, and everything's a bit straight and dense feeling. It's a very butch kind of thing. Touch sensitive, charging flap. And also, when you get to the back, it feels a bit lower because you're used to having an SUV at this kind of height. At the front, because the bonnet's so high, hip height, it feels very blocky. This feels much neater and nicer. You've got these kind of animated LED rear lights, which almost meet in the middle. That kind of bothers me. I almost want a light bar or actual tail lights, and then a neat rear diffuser with some aero elements. It's actually a little bit easier to get on with from the back than the front. So you think you're cool? Automatic doors. And when you need to close the door, you simply press a button. And when you are inside, it does feel very much like a wraparound spaceship. I'll start at the top. It's got a 2-meter squared sunroof, which still opens, which isn't so much a sunroof as a conservatory. And then we get to the now familiar BMW steering wheel, which some people absolutely love, but I think is the worst possible steering wheel in the universe. It's completely over-designed. It's got too many spars and bits and things that don't quite connect to each other. I'm not sure which way is up or down, and then it's got the haptic buttons on the sides. This is not my favourite bit of the iX5's interior. The rest of it is really interesting though. You've got a 17.9-inch sort of touchscreen here. There's an optional passenger screen which can be used for gaming or watching Netflix and all of that kind of stuff. And then on the edge of the dash, you've got BMW's Panoramic Vision, which has all of the driver's information that you might need. So you've got range, your charging, you can have your sat nav. It's got a little bit there. If you go on here and you actually go to Panoramic Vision, you can configure it so that you can change all of the widgets. So I keep putting, like you can have your music on there, but you can take that off and put your compass into that position. Or you can take this away and put different BMW art cars in. And it just has a picture of a different BMW art car, which I think is the best thing ever. Like there's the David Hockney 850. So I think I'll just have that in my dash for no particular reason other than I like it. And then you can have like the weather, basically all the information you might need in this big pillar to pillar kind of projected screen on the front. There's little things that sort of bother me, like if you go to the air conditioning, you can change where the vents point on the touchscreen, but I just can't help feeling that it'd be a lot easier to just move it here, because yes, that's kind of cool to show people, but it'll break eventually. And then what will you do? When you go on the home screen, there are loads and loads of different things that you can use. It's got BMW Symbiotic Drive, so it's got level 2 ADAS. It's got so much AI power in this car that when you use the voice assistant, it can do really classy things. So if you say I'm going to drive somewhere, I'm going to say, drive me to Berlin and find me a nightclub along the way.
On it. I'll search for a nightclub along your route to Berlin. I found 19 nightclubs along your route to Berlin. Which one would you like to add to your journey?
19 nightclubs. I want to go to Club please.
Club added to your route. You'll hit it before Berlin.
Okay, so it seems like we're going to Club. Basically, when you've got AI involved with some of these systems, especially the voice control, you just talk to it and it will figure things out for you. It's a lot slicker than it used to be. And then the rest of the interior is more kind of normal. You've got twin-cooled wireless charging, you've got cup holders, more USB-Cs. This material here is actually an option, and it's slate. So it's like a stone material, and this is real glass. Again, it is an option, but it all works. It's actually got buttons in it and little rollers for the controls. Then in here, you've got a little bit of storage, a bit more charging, and very, very comfortable seats. Although I will say that a white steering wheel is possibly the worst idea in the world. I'm very grubby. There's also a massive head-up display, so if you want any more information, you just program that and it projects it over the bonnet. All of the good stuff seems to be very much in place. One thing you will notice is even though there is plenty of space in the back of the iX5 and lots of headroom, it's not quite as big as something on a dedicated electric platform, although it does have an elbow cushion and this thing, which it goes in there for your mobile phone, which I really like.
And as this is a family car, I think I'd better mention boot space, which is pretty good actually. 655 litres with the seats up, 1,850 litres with the seats folded flat, which is largely comparable to something like a Porsche Cayenne Electric, depending on where the sliding seats are, but notably bigger with the seats down.
So, the new BMW X5, it's packed full of tech, it has a massive battery, a long range, and it looks quite different, feels quite macho. We'll have to reserve judgment until we finally drive it, but what are your first impressions? Let me know in the comments below.